Blue Peter.
Hello. Well, that was me trying my hand at rally driving, and you can see how I got on a bit later on in the programme. First of all, though, welcome back, Pete.
Ah, thank you very much, Leslie.
How was Warsaw?
It was still there when I left it, but it was actually great. I had
Yes?
a marvellous time. It's probably the most fascinating city I think I've ever seen, and we've been to a lot on Blue
that's
Peter.
true.
It was
I can see
wonderful.
you're actually giving nothing away, and I and everyone else are going to have to wait till we actually see the film.
That's about it.
And I look forward to doing that. Well, we've got an entire theatre in the studio today with no less than 20 actors. I think that you'll probably recognise most of the characters, and 3 of them are in action at this very moment.
Hello, everybody. Hey, come on, Judy. Up you come. Come on, Judy.
What do you want, Mr. Punch? I'm looking after the baby. It's a very sweet little baby and it never cries. So here you are, Mr. Punch, and whatever you do, don't drop it out of the window.
All right. 1, 2, 3. That's the way to do it.
Mr. Punch, what have you been doing, dropping the baby out of the window?
I'll drop you out of the window if you don't be quiet, Judy. Here we go, then. 1, 2, 3. Woo-wee. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it.
And, actually, would you believe there's only one man behind there? Paul Newman. Not the film star, but Britain's youngest Punch and Judy man. He's only 15 years old. Hey, get down. Leave Punch alone, chap. Off you go. Play with better. Hello, Paul.
Hello.
Now, this is the infamous Punch, isn't it?
Yes, really looking evil tonight.
Yeah, he's not a very good character, is he? He's always belting people.
That's why people like him so much. You know, they want to throw their baby out of the window.
And nobody ever gets the
sort of
better of Mr. Punch, do they?
Only the devil, of course.
The
right at
devil?
the end, yes.
Yeah. Well, apart from the famous ones, there's Mr. Punch, Mrs. Punch and the baby. There are lots of other characters as well, though, aren't there?
Yes, there's the crocodile, for example.
Oh, that's a good one, isn't it?
Here we have the crocodile.
A real evil
And, of course,
character.
he's really a very old puppet. He comes from these hell's mouths they used to have at the side of the stage, you see, like that. And all the bodies used to go in. And, of course, it was a bit too horrific to have bodies, so they were changed to sausages.
So next time you see a bunch of sausages, those represent a load of bodies. This has all come down from years of tradition from Punch and Judy, hasn't it?
Yes, very old traditions, right back to...
And who makes all your puppets?
Well, my mother helps me, and I do a bit, and my sisters do a bit, and...
I believe you made the sausages,
Yeah, that's
you?
why they fall apart.
You're going to have to make some new ones.
Yeah.
Well, you've got a pile of hats down here.
Oh, yes. These are used for bottling. That's collecting the money, you see.
Oh.
You go around with a hat, and if you've got a big audience, of course, you need lots of...
Also, if it's quite hot,
hats, yes.
they're quite nice to wear.
Oh, yes, to pee against the heat. I wore that on the beach last year.
Yeah. And your own outfit is quite splendid. Very much a sort of showman type
Yeah,
of
well, it's
outfit, isn't it?
it's the traditional thing, the brocade waistcoat, epaulettes, tailcoat. We got that from an obese conductor.
And it gets in the audience, doesn't it?
Yes.
What gave you the idea of first going into Punch and Judy?
Well, I suppose it started, really, when my days at playgroup. Because I remember felt tipping my teacher's face on a paper bag and having a paper bag puppet.
And what about the number of shows? How many shows have you done?
Well, I suppose it's around 200 by now. It's getting on.
What about the places you perform? I mean, the basic place really is a seaside, but do you perform anywhere?
Yeah. Well, my first show ever was on Tottenham Court Road, and that was really chaotic. It started off, the first thing that went wrong was my swazzle. That's the thing that makes the squeaky voice for Punch.
Yes, because you use your own ordinary
Yeah,
voice, don't you?
I haven't used it since that day because I swallowed it. And swallowed the swazzle, and when I came out to get a drink of water...
Out of where?
Out of the booth. The whole thing blew over, and it was dreadful. A dog started relieving himself all over the booth.
Off you go.
And, but since then, I haven't used a swazzle.
Do you find you have lots of problems?
Well, yes, things go wrong. I mean, on the beach, for instance, Westwood Ho, you've got quicksands, the booth sinking around you, and you've got, well, I mean, once I was giving a show, and halfway through, I thought, that's strange, the booth's starting to move. And I looked down, and the water was up to my ankles. The tide had come in. Yeah. The audience were all right. They were all in swimming costume. They were just cheering on the first aquatic Punch and Judy show.
And you were sinking slowly into the ground?
Yes, it was dreadful.
Well, the Punch and Judy, what do you call it, a cabinet or...?
Well, it's a booth, you see.
A booth, yeah. It's all done out in traditional stripes, isn't it? This is something that's come down from the past as well.
Yes, yes, and this, of course, isn't really old. I mean, in the days of minstrels, they used to put up a little turret in the castle hall, and this was the battlements.
Well, it's a bit cumbersome to carry around, isn't it?
Yeah, practically impossible, yes. It folds down, and I just have to carry it around with me, which gets a bit...
Do you find that the audience are often trying to jump up and have a look in?
Well, no, actually, they like coming back, you see, because then they can bring the baby round the back and have a look.
Well, let's go and have a look ourselves, shall we?
Have a look backstage.
Well, this is... Oh, I see. So you're holding Mr. Punch. Mr. Punch is always in the right hand, isn't he?
Yeah, you keep him on the right hand and you bring on all these others, you see.
And they're all just hung there?
Yeah, you've got the Doctor, for example.
Yeah.
He comes on, and you've also got things like the policeman, the ghost, the devil, of course.
Do you find that sometimes you put your hand in the wrong puppet and come up with the wrong one?
Yes, in The Sleeping Beauty, for instance, you sometimes come on with a bearded sort of stranger instead of a prince, and all sorts of things are going.
Have you ever been in this booth when it's actually been blown over by the wind?
No, thank goodness.
So you haven't? How do you weight it down? Do you tie it?
Well, you've got bricks all the way around the bottom, you see, and that stops the whole thing going over. But
well, while you're backstage, he's doing a lot of work, so he's got to have a little bit of help out the front. So for that, he's got his two sisters.
Joanna, Helena, what do you do to help Paul when you go on the show with him?
Well, I normally collect the money and help him put the booth up.
Yeah, what, in one of those hats that he was showing us?
Yes.
Do you ever get a hatful?
Well, sometimes.
And what do you do, Joanna?
Well, I also help put the booth up, and I have to hold it up during the show in case it blows over.
If there's a strong wind. You have to be pretty strong yourself to do that, don't you?
Yes.
And what about this here? Let's get it out. This is a sandwich board, isn't it? Who wears this?
Well, I usually do.
Yes?
When we're collecting the audience.
Yeah, so you're sort of gathering up the crowds and jollying them along.
Yes.
To come and see your brother's show. And waving flags as well. That's smashing. Well, I'm afraid we haven't got very much of an audience for you to jolly along. There's only me and Johnny, but maybe you'd like to join us in the audience.
Well,
we've only got 2 dogs to field, so you can look after them, and no money to collect, I'm afraid, today, Helena. But in fact, while we've been talking, I think Paul has put the finishing touches behind the booth, and he's now going to give us the highlight of one of his performances, which is when Mr. Policeman meets Mr. Punch.
Hello, Mr. Punch. Now, just you come along here and put your head in the noose. I've come to take you up, Mr. Punch.
And I come to take you down, Mr. Policeman.
Mr. Punch, my name's Jack Ketch.
Well, catch that then.
Mr. Punch, this just won't do. Now, put your head in the noose. First of all, I'll give you your dying speech, though. I, Mr. Punch, have been a bad and wicked man.
I, Jack Ketch, want a slice of bread and jam.
Now, this won't do. Shall I show him how to be hung, girls and boys?
Yes!
Can't hear you!
Yes!
Very good. Right, I'll show you, Mr. Punch. It's really quite simple. First of all, you put your helmet in, then you put your nose in, then you put your ears in,
then you put your neck in. 1, 2, 3, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Oh dear, what's that? Oh, it's Dog Toby. Hello, Dog Toby. What's that you got there, then? What's that? Hello, Dog Toby. Well, we're going now, so you thought we all were dead and gone, and so maybe did I. But there you see it cannot be, for puppets never die. So here we are, all fit and fine, and if you'd like some more, I'll gladly do the whole show again. Just shout out loud encore. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, I'd love to shout encore. It was smashing, but we haven't got any time. Paul, come down here.
Shep was dying to join in there,
Congratulations. It's a really highly professional show.
Thank you.
You must be very proud of him, you two. And I shall look out on the seaside and see if I can see you.
Thanks.
Lovely. Now for some more news about my rally driving exploits. Well, I couldn't drive when I first came on Blue Peter. In fact, I didn't pass my test until 3 years ago. Since then, I've become very interested in driving and keen to become a better driver. So you can guess how pleased I was when I was asked by the Torbay Motor Club not only to join in, but to be a co-driver in the only all-woman team taking part. The day before the rally, I had a trial run so that I could pick up 1 or 2 tips. Jackie Smith was my partner. She's only 22, but she's already had 2 years rally experience.
Underneath of the car actually being touched by the ground. That's why we have the sump guard on to protect the underneath of the car.
Yeah, if you were driving an ordinary car on roads like these...
You probably would have a hole in your sump by now and you could be losing all your oil.
Then the object of the whole rally is what, speed, basically?
It's all about speed, yes. We're set off into a stage at minute intervals and the idea is to go as fast as you can right to the end.
A stage is sort of ground like this?
Yes, it's in a forest or the side of the mountain, going as fast as you can, keeping it on the island.
What does that mean?
On the road, in front of you, going in a straight line as far as you can.
Do you lose points for anything? Or...
You only lose points when you go off the road and it takes you time to get back on.
Have you ever had anything nasty happen?
Yes, I have. You'll see now, this terrain, we have gullies either side. If you manage to hit one of those, possibilities are that you would roll.
Now, where does the navigator come into all this? I mean,
the navigator, if she's a good navigator, then you will read the road to me to confirm what I am actually seeing.
So I've got to actually shout to you, there's a ditch or there's a turning or whatever?
Yes, you read the road and you tell me what you see, and if there's a bend coming up, you would tell me left or right, and looking at your map, you should be able to tell me whether it's a left or a right-hander.
Well, Jackie, there's a hill coming up.
Yes, it is, and it looks fairly steep. If you look below, you can see that it looks as though it's going to be a right hairpin.
Yes, it does. How are you going to take this?
Well, we would put the handbrake on, put the back out, and take the nose in. And through.
Wow, that was fantastic. We made it.
Yes.
I'd have been halfway through the forest doing
Not
that.
at all.
Oh, but you never catch me driving that.
That's bad. Well, if I'm going to teach you to navigate, I'm afraid it's your turn.
I've got to drive?
Yes, of course.
It's one thing to be driven at breakneck speed along a cart track by someone you trust completely, but it's something else when you're behind the wheel yourself, with the expert in the passenger seat. Second gear. I don't think I'll try third gear just yet.
Go as fast as you can, you're racing against time. Yeah. And keeping it on the road.
No, that's third. Oh, Jackie, I don't know how you do it. Woo! At 6:30 a.m. on the day of the rally, Jackie and I arrived at the start. The actual rally wasn't due to begin until 8:30, but there was a lot to be done before then. Every car has to be thoroughly checked by a scrutineer. This is mainly for safety, making sure that everything is firmly bolted down, and that the wall which separates the engine from the driver is thoroughly fireproof. But the scrutineer is also making sure that your engine is the size you say it is, so that you won't have an unfair advantage. Helmets are checked to make sure they carry the British Standard number, which guarantees that they've been tested to withstand the kind of impact you'd get in the event of a crash. Yeah, good and solid. Right, what's next? The scrutineer went over every inch of the car with a fine tooth comb.
We will check the harnesses, make sure they're secure, and the roll bar inside.
Yeah.
Make sure it's all bolted down sufficiently. Also, the seats, that they don't come forward, they have to be solid. Yeah. Make sure the steering wheel is nice and positive and it's safe.
Have you ever been turned down on the scrutineering?
No. We have to then go through a noise test to make sure that the noise doesn't reach so many decibels. They have to pass that. We have, in fact, had problems with the noise test before, but apart from that, no.
And what happens once the car's been scrutineered? Can we then drive it off again?
Yes, we drive it out only into Parc Fermé. The car has to be left there. Nobody's allowed to tamper with it at all once it's been through scrutineering.
Until we start the race.
Until we start the race, yes.
Most of the cars looked like old bangers, but they've all been specially done up for the rally. The start marshal is responsible for clocking out each contestant. The cars go off at 1-minute intervals. There are 47 altogether, and every car gets checked in and out of all the 15 stages on the route. The cars are put into different classes according to the size of their engines. We were 1000cc, which is the smallest class. This was the most nerve-wracking moment of the whole day, especially for Jackie. She turned a car over in a rally last year, and memories like that always flash across your mind before you start. We were the last to go, so our agony lasted the longest.
Oh, yeah, all right,
At last, we were away. On the ordinary roads, the cars are restricted to 30 miles an hour. But once they reach the open country, the sky's the limit, provided you can stay on the road. We were making pretty good time on the first stage, if only we could keep it up.
Please stamp on your side. Thank you. We're about 100 yards straight, Jackie, look out. But we've got hairpin to the left, coming up. You've got a steep right-hand turn when we get to the top. Right. And a nasty drop on my side. Good.
Even in the pouring rain, spectators gather to watch the cars clocking in and out of the various stages. This chap seemed to have had a bit of a clout already. The stage marshal writes down the time for every car and hands the driver a copy, so that all the times for every stage can be added up at the end of the rally. It also gives the co-driver a chance to keep an eye on how he's doing. This was us arriving at the finish of one of the stages. You know how you're doing from the timings you're given, but of course you've no idea how the rest of the field is faring.
Are we last through?
No. It's going to be 16:28.
Are you going to give them 2 minutes to clear of us?
Yes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Steep hill, Jackie. Got it. Oh, we're on it already. Good. I'm going to have to be faster than that. Oh, that means a hairpin to the right. Right, got it. Yes, and we come in fairly close, put the power on and take it round. Wow, and out of it. Lovely. We've got to ditch my side. Got it. Keep us straight. Yards and nice straight, so we've really let her out now.
It's really bone-shaking stuff, all that, isn't it?
I'm still recovering.
I'm sure.
But I tell you what, we came second in our class.
Oh, well navigated.
Thank you very much.
Nice. Well, we said that today we'd be giving you some news about our Lifeline Lebanon appeal, and we are, and I've got that news right here beside me. It's a selection of some of the more valuable stamps, envelopes and cards that you sent us for our big Lifeline Lebanon auction to be held at Easter. And before that, these exhibits will be on display at Britain's national stamp exhibition, Stampex. Well, I think they're absolutely fascinating, but perhaps the most interesting of all the items on display will be this one, which... they just look like a lot of envelopes, but in fact they're all addressed to just one man. He was Winston Churchill, Britain's wartime Prime Minister. And they come from all over the world. It doesn't seem to matter how they've been addressed, they all got to him. Like this one here is addressed to His Excellency Winston Churchill, Father of Victory, House of Commons, London. Pretty good address, that, but that got there too. Here's one. Honourable Mr Churchill, ex-Prime Minister, London, England. That was from Macau in China. There's one here which I think is Portuguese, but I'm not sure. And it's addressed to Miss Miauri Churchill, de Winston Fica Fostuli, Premier Britannic, or something like that. That got there too. And a lovely one up here, which is written all in Arabic. It came from Egypt, and it's addressed to H.E. Mr. Shershir. Someone has written underneath there, and that got to him as well. But there's a rather nice one up at the top here, and it's come from Holland. It's just addressed to His Excellency Winston Churchill, London. When you turn it round, you see that it's a Christmas card. And it says, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year in grateful remembrance of 1945, which, of course, was the year that the Second World War ended. Well, fascinating they are. And, as I said, they'll be on display at Stampex, this stamp exhibition, which opens tomorrow at the Royal I'll try that again. The Royal Horticultural Hall in London. And there's some rather nice news about that as well, because it runs right the way through till the end of the week, till Saturday. But from Wednesday to Saturday, if you're a Blue Peter badge winner and you're wearing your badge, then you can get into the exhibition for just 10 pence. When the full price is 30 pence, I think that's a very nice reduction. Anyway, still on the subject of stamps, I wonder if you can guess what this medal has to do with them. This is actually a Nobel medal. And the Nobel Prize is probably the highest of the international awards, rarer than an Olympic gold medal, and they're given every year for outstanding achievements in the arts and sciences. They were started in 1901 with money given by Alfred Nobel, and that's his head on the face of the medal here. He was a Swedish chemist, and he made an absolute fortune when he invented dynamite. And on the back of this particular medal, just at the bottom, you probably can't read it, but it does say D.H.R. Barton, and that is Professor Sir Derek Barton, who won this award for chemistry in 1969. Well, to celebrate this one and the 20 other Nobel Prizes that have been awarded by British chemists since the awards were started, the Post Office is issuing on Wednesday a set of 4 commemorative stamps. And this is actually the set which they very kindly let us have for our album in advance. Now, the 8.5 penny stamp represents Sir Derek Barton's work itself on the shapes of molecules. The 10-pence stamp, now that's got an orange there, representing vitamin C, plus a diagram of its structure, and that was for a Nobel Prize won by Sir Norman Haworth. This design on the 11-pence stamp shows a technique called chromatography for analysing chemicals, and that was developed by 2 people, Professor Martin and Professor Singh. And the last in the set, the 13-pence one, features the work of a father and son, Sir William and Sir Lawrence Bragg, for the work that they did on crystals. Well, I don't think that the set is the prettiest one I've ever seen, but certainly the subject matter of it is very interesting indeed. And with the 13-pence one in mind there, the subject of crystals has always interested me, and I'm delighted to say that in the studio today we've got an absolute whopper.
It really is a giant and quite beautiful too. We've also got our resident scientist, Alistair Brown, who's come to do a little bit of crystal gazing. Alistair, it is beautiful, isn't it?
It's a really beautiful example.
And they're not all like that, are they?
No, they're not.
All different.
That's a quartz crystal,
Yeah.
and it grew naturally. If you were very lucky, you would find something like that.
Yeah.
If you were even more lucky, you would find something like this, and that's really beautiful. It looks like a metal. In fact, it's a sulfide, but you can get metals growing like that. And here's other examples, but once again, you'd have to be a geologist for many years, perhaps, before you found that out in the wilds.
And these actually grow, don't they?
They grow, and you can replicate that, if you want to, yourself. And here's one which I grew in the last couple of days. Nothing very special about it. It's copper sulfate.
What is it?
It's copper sulfate crystal.
There's one big one, one small one.
That's right. Now, if you wanted to grow that yourself, what you do is you take this small one,
Yeah.
which is just there, and, well, if you don't want to do it with great finesse, you just drop it into a solution of the chemical. If you wanted to do it very carefully, you'd hang it on a thread, and then you get a perfectly shaped crystal.
And that would eventually grow to something as big as
As
that?
I say, I grew that in a couple of days, yes.
Did you?
That's
Oh,
right.
well, that was very good.
Right, now, crystals like this are very large crystals. Unfortunately, some crystals are very small, and we need a microscope to look at them.
Yeah.
So let's have a look. We've got a microscope here. John, you look down the eyepiece just here. Meanwhile, we'll go and look round the side of the microscope. And
nothing
looking
there,
through
is
the
there?
camera there, let's put something in, and we'll see what happens here. Well, we can't see very much yet.
No, it's a bit blank at the moment.
Just let me seed that, and very luck, move that across.
Hang on, something's happening.
Something's happening.
There it is. Something's moving.
All I've got to do is find
There's something moving. What is it?
Now, that is a crystal growing,
Yeah.
and you can see it's moving straight down the middle of the screen there. Can you see that?
Yeah, yeah.
And we're watching crystals growing from the solution Now, if I just...
And that happens with all crystals. They all sort of grow, not as fast as this.
All crystals can be grown this way, and if I just change the conditions slightly, we can get some very
lovely colours,
pretty coloured effects. And we're watching the crystals change shape as they grow.
And when do they stop growing?
Well, they stop growing when they all meet up and there's no solution left.
Oh, that's what I call real crystal gazing, is that, isn't it?
We'll be coming
really
up for a
signs
look
of the
at that.
future.
Well, it's very
like a
pretty,
work
isn't
of
it?
art.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
wonderful. I shall think of those very much every time I see the new 13p stamp.
Why not?
Wonderful.
Do you know what I
Thanks very
thought when
much,
I gazed into that?
No, what did you think?
It said you'll be back on Thursday.
Oh, we will indeed. That's nice. No, that's made me forget what we're going to do. I'll be running the new 00 gauge high-speed train on the Blue Peter train layout.
And yes, I'll be in the garden with Percy Thrower. I nearly forgot.
And I'll
as
be
well.
cutting a zebra's toenails. See you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, come on, Judy. Let's have the sausages then.
In just over 5 minutes, it's our turn for school children in the Leeds area. That's after John Craven's Newsround.
The threat to the British kipper, an action today to protect the shoals of herring. Hello again. Well, from today and for the next 8 weeks or so, the fishermen of Europe won't be allowed to catch herring in the North Sea. Scientists hope that this will go some way at least towards protecting the rapidly falling numbers of herring. And if the herring were to disappear altogether, it would be a great disaster for the eating habits of this country, because herring, when it's been smoked, turns into one of Britain's favourite foods, kippers. The scientists had wanted a complete ban for a year on herring fishing. The Common Market have brought in a 2-month ban, and they say they'll look at the situation again at the end of next month. British fishermen have chased the shoals of herring for centuries, but in recent years, foreign trawlers have turned it into a free-for-all. They've swept the seas for anything they can catch, and the effect has been disastrous on the herring stocks and on the herring fishermen of Britain. This year, there have been only 50 boats in the British herring fleet, half of last year's number. Their catches are down by 70% on last year, and now they're banned from fishing altogether for at least the next 2 months. And this will mean there'll be far fewer kippers for sale this summer. Prices are high already, but they could reach 60p a pound. That's twice the price they were last year. So even if the kipper doesn't disappear completely, it'll have become a rare and expensive luxury. The battle to save a very special tree in the Sussex village of West Ham has paid off. The tree, a cypress, won't be cut down after all. And it's all because herons like these have been using the tree for nesting for 100 years now. As we told you on Newsround last week, the tree had been condemned because it was in danger of falling down, and there are houses and a school very close to it. But now work will start to prop up the trees with wooden supports, hopefully without disturbing the herons already nesting at the top. A new appeal has just been made for the release of a prisoner who has been called the loneliest man in the world. It comes from the son of the German war criminal Rudolf Hess, who was Hitler's deputy and is the only leader of Nazi Germany still held in captivity. This rare picture of Hess, taken illegally, shows him as the only inmate of Spandau prison in West Germany. He's now 82, and he's been in jail for almost 36 years. The appeal for his release comes just a few days after Hess tried to kill himself because he's so depressed by his ordeal and because he's lost hope of ever being released.
Der Garant des Friedens.
The time, 1933. The place, Nazi Germany. By now, Hess was one of the most powerful men in the country and Hitler's right-hand man. It was Hess who ordered the most infamous act of the Nazi regime, the mass killing of millions of people, mostly Jews. Incredibly, in 1941, Hess flew to Britain on a peace mission to persuade Britain to get out of the Second World War. Germany disowned him and called him mad. For Britain, his capture was a remarkable coup. When Germany was finally defeated, Hess was brought to stand trial along with other German leaders at Nuremberg. Amazingly, he told the War Crimes Tribunal that he was unrepentant. He said he'd done his duty for his country as a loyal servant to Hitler. He even said he regretted nothing and he'd do exactly the same all over again. So he was imprisoned in Spandau for life. Now 20 warders and 100 soldiers guard this lonely prisoner. 3 of the 4 countries in charge here, Britain, America, France, want to let him out. Only the Russians insist that his jail sentence really is for life. Well, to America now, and a new school has just opened, which must be the strangest school in the world. Most of it is underground, and it's heated and lit completely by solar energy, the power of the sun. And what's more, when the American government refused to pay for the school, a group of Arabs stepped in and provided the cash. Men who've made their fortunes from oil explained that they were interested in any kind of energy conservation. Well, for Newsround, John Humphreys went to the state of Virginia to look at the school.
Even without the solar heating, it's a remarkable school. Not that it looks much like a school at all from the outside. It's almost all underground, built into the side of a hill, with 3 feet of earth covering the entire roof to act as a shield against the cold of winter and the heat of summer. When all the solar heating panels are installed later next month, they'll provide most of the heat. But there's also a so-called reclamation system. That means heat given off by human bodies and even electric light bulbs will be recycled and used over and over again. There are no classrooms as such, just 4 separate open areas for the 850 children. And everywhere the walls are curved. That's also meant to save heat, because corner space is usually wasted, but has to be heated anyway. The whole thing has cost more than £2 million. That's more than a traditional school of similar size would have cost, but they hope they'll save so much on the fuel bills it'll more than make up for the difference. Assuming that it all works, of course.
John Humphreys reporting from America. And finally, another remarkable education story from that same country. Paul Gleason, who's a blind maths teacher from Long Island, New York, has just received his university degree, and he didn't see why his guide dog, called Hal, shouldn't get one too. After all, he claimed Hal had sat next to him in class for 3 years, and surprisingly, the university agreed. So now Hal, a golden retriever, is the proud owner of his own certificate, which shows he attended all the lessons in the science course. I suppose they've made him a doctor of science. Well, that's it from Newsround today. See you again round about the same time tomorrow. Until then, bye-bye.
In a minute on BBC One, it's our turn.
On BBC One at 4:40 tomorrow afternoon...